I think I found a film that is as bad as it is good. It's like it was a father-son team or something, and the son laid out the basic themes that the film would be about, and then the father came in and tried to make it stomachable. It's like that parent who turned their kid's scribbles into art. Since I'm of two minds about this film, I've decided to structure the review as an argument between two opposing sides. To do this, I've painstakingly split myself in two, and the side of me that possesses all my good and wholesome traits will be arguing that in fact this film is a good one, and the side of me that possesses all my most vile and evil traits will be arguing that this film is dog shit. Enjoy. Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? Hello? Why are we in an abandoned building? We have a review to film. The acoustics are terrible in here.
Forget about the review, dude. I'm starting to think this whole personality split was a bad idea.
What did you do?
I'm not in control.
Because if the police are involved, I can't promise I won't cry and piss my pants and tell them the truth.
I did something really bad, man.
I'm worried that you might hurt me if I stay, but the urge to fulfill the promise to do this review is somehow stronger than my will to preserve my life, so why don't we just do it?
Alright, but if the police come here, you don't know me.
But I am you.
But I'm wearing different clothes, and I have facial hair.
Yeah, about that. Could you turn to the left for a second? Oh, my friends were right. I do look like a goat when I try to grow facial hair.
What?
Never mind. But we share ID. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, it's mine. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, it's yours. And Sundays we stay in, so we don't need it. Look, I promised I'd do this review, and my conscience won't let me live it down if I don't. Let's just do this thing real quick, or the whole personality switch thing would be pointless.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
I'm sure you're overreacting and the cops aren't coming. Jeez, I thought this would be a lot more lighthearted than it is, but I'll introduce the film and you just gather yourself. It just feels kind of weird to just go into a review after all that, but okay. So Spring was a film about a guy who's down on his luck. His mom has died. He gets into a bar fight and breaks a man's... what are those things called? The teeth things.
Teeth?
No. What? No, the gold things that go on the teeth. A grill. He breaks a man's grill in a bar fight.
Gold thing. Wedding ring.
Just chill out for a second. Take some deep breaths. Gather yourself. Everything will be fine, alright? Focus. So the cops are after this guy, and he flies to Italy to go into hiding.
Oh, can we not talk about the cops?
So this guy hitches up with two backpackers and travels around a bit. Then he sees a woman and hits on her, and then she fobs him off for ages. He follows her around town a bit. She eventually agrees to a date. Then on their third date, they sleep together, and everything goes to shit after that. Excuse my language. Hello everyone. So we're fast approaching spoiler territory. So as a decent human being, I thought I'd give you ample time to click out of this video. So let's count down from 60. 60 Mississippi. 59 Mississippi. 58
And 3, 2, 1,
Mississippi.
she turns into a monster.
No! No, you can't. Why?
I couldn't help myself. So the part where after they sleep together, we find out that she's a huge shape-shifting monster of some sort. Like she's 2,000 years old and she takes medication to keep her from changing into like a bunch of different creatures apparently from our evolutionary past. But I'm reasonably familiar with our evolutionary past from a flipbook gif that I saw on Reddit, and I didn't recognize a bunch of the things that she changed into. Pretty sure we never had spiny poison tails, and I'm fairly certain that she was a straight-up werewolf at some point. Also, another weird thing is that she's kind of pregnant with his child, but the child is herself, and she can apparently self-replicate and remain immortal by taking half of the DNA of any dude she sleeps with and continues on living off that or something. It's fucking confusing. They try to explain it scientifically, but the fact that they try to ground it in something like science makes it more ridiculous that she'd even be able to grow a tail made of bone in like 2 seconds.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, but I respectfully disagree.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a bit nasty. Well, the first good thing I wanted to say about this film is that it has really good character development. It didn't even feel like your classic horror film in the beginning because there was no pretense that it was going to be as scary at all until it just was. When we discovered that this woman was a monster, it just kind of happened on screen. There was no...
Yeah, but she looked like a zombie. As far as I know, there was no point in our evolutionary history that we were fictional, decaying versions of ourselves that were made up by writers.
We'll get this done quicker if you just let me finish my sentences. So as I was saying, there was none of the things that you'd usually whinge about with the loud noises and jump scares leading into parts that were genuinely unsettling. This should really be your favorite movie.
There's absolutely no way that this would be my favorite movie. Are you kidding me?
Well, the characters were written really well, wouldn't you agree?
Well, the one thing I'd say about this part of the film is that there was too much time spent on characters. And I never thought I'd say that about a horror movie, but like, did the guy really have to spend like 40 minutes of the movie dealing with the death of his mom, getting pity sex off some woman, having a bar fight, and then the repercussions of the bar fight, fleeing countries, traveling around with 2 dickheads who were of absolutely no importance or value to the plot whatsoever? Then he starts working on a farm and that plot goes almost nowhere. Then chasing this woman around for ages, which made him kind of look like a creep in my eyes. Not some perfect dude who could win over a 2,000-year-old shape-shifting demigod demon monster woman.
There was plenty of use to all that stuff you mentioned. You get to know him as a person. Plus, the farm he worked on was run by a guy who was this woman's last victim, or one of them. You saw him holding a photo of her at one point. That was a really cool touch.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that some of the stuff could have been done away with because it was of absolutely no consequence. Or it actively made you not really care much about the protagonist because he was really nothing special. And that's really about all that I learnt from the first 40 minutes of the film.
I think for better or worse, the reason the movie has power behind it is because there was so much time spent on the characters. Wait, what are you doing? Are you opening my mail? It's your mail too, you know that, right?
Dear Mitch, I'm sorry to inform you that you have syphilis.
Stop reading the mail.
You're my opponent. I had to dig up dirt on you.
That means you have syphilis too.
Good point. Okay, in summation, I guess I wonder what we actually learn about the characters through all of that. Like, the guy's not especially smart. He's kind of lazy. He's not especially kind or compassionate or attractive. Why would something that's been alive to see Jesus be born be interested in this guy? Like, the characterization is one thing, but this woman must have collected vast amounts of knowledge, and the smartest thing this guy ever said was that his favorite food was pizza.
Some pizza and a bottle of wine with the right person, that can make the shittiest day better.
Well, I think he was left relatable and normal on purpose, maybe, because then we can empathize with the struggle of dealing with someone you love who transforms into a monster. One second, you're just some guy who likes pizza, and the next second, you're going to see the woman you like after a few nice dates, and you find her on the lounge room floor looking like this. That scene was powerful.
According to the flipbook, we were never octopuses. That's a whole different and complex other evolutionary path. You impressed with my knowledge? Okay, so it's a character-driven plot of some sort. I can agree with that. So the characters carry the plot through, instead of the plot manipulating the characters. But hear me out, like, if the characters were, say, a sturdy cart that carries the plot to the end of the film, then the plot that rests inside the cart is a few pieces of white dog shit.
That metaphor doesn't even make sense. How does the cart move if it doesn't have something to pull it?
It's a self-moving cart, I don't know.
Okay, so I think contrary to what you're saying, the story was good too, and definitely wasn't white dog shit. The story was their relationship and the characters unfolding. You always talk about how characters shouldn't be plot devices. It was a character-driven horror film. The plot was the characters. You should have loved this.
Okay, so you think that the cart was made of white dog shit?
No, I think the cart would be made of cart, and inside it is another cart, if your broken-ass metaphor is to be followed to its logical conclusion.
Shh! Sorry, I thought I heard sirens. Business idea. Carts that carry other carts. I wrote it down first, and I dated it, so it's my intellectual property.
You got the date wrong by 1,000 years.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, are you about to drink mouthwash?
Yeah, I'm trying to. This lid won't come off. Wow, that was not in the script. Is this child locked? Oh, shit. Oh my goodness. Well, that fucked all that up, didn't it? Oh wait, you squeeze it. There we go. Ask me that again.
Whoa, are you about to drink mouthwash?
Yeah, I got addicted to it after reviewing The Boy. It's a hell of a stuff.
It's a hell of a stuff. Wow.
This is how I bury the bad thoughts.
Oh, do you need a bucket?
No, it's cool. A few people kept telling me that I overused the vomit gag in my videos. So I try not to vomit if I can help it. Oh, it fucking burns. Keep going then, what are you waiting for?
Okay, well, why don't we talk about the tension that's built by this guy falling blindly in love with a monster as she begins to struggle to keep control of her body that's changing all the time into all these different creatures.
Sure.
Right, I thought that was a cool bit. She kept telling him she's not in love with him, and was basically just using him for his DNA, but he keeps clinging to the hope that she'll choose to change into a mortal and be with him. His last-ditch effort at convincing her to lose her immortality is when they go on a road trip. She's changing rapidly, and there's a scary bit where she's showing him one of her family members from a few hundred years ago who's preserved in some crypt somewhere. And he's saying something romantic to her, and the creature in her tries to bite his face off.
You're still not in love with me?
Then she has to do the last of her injections to hold back the creature inside of her. Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, I found it on the ground.
Why?
I don't know, it didn't make me feel better. It worked in the film.
What?
Like, you're pretty judgmental for someone who's meant to be good. Why don't you let me make my own choices? Oops, missed the vein. By the way, you just glazed over the part where she kills and eats a bunch of people and animals and shows no remorse for it all, and he just accepts it blindly.
Well, I mean, that's love for you, I guess.
So you're telling me if someone you cared about or you were close with, were to kill someone,
Excuse me.
that you might stand by them?
Well, I might. It depends how much I loved them, I guess.
Why don't you look to your left for a second?
Why? Do I look like a goat without facial hair too? Oh my god! What the fuck, dude? You killed someone?
Uh-huh.
Holy fucking shit! I just thought you robbed a convenience store or something. Who is it then?
Why don't you keep going with the review?
Because you murdered a human being!
Yes, we've established that. So what did you think about the ending of the film, where she doesn't change into a monster and chooses to give up all of her eternal life and powers because the guy talked about pizza for a bit?
I don't care about that right now. There's a dead guy in here. I'm gonna have to call the police.
No one loves anyone more than themselves, right? If you can't stand by even yourself when you've killed someone, then do you really think that some guy who met a woman 3 days before is going to stick around her after he found out she's killed and eaten people? And might spontaneously transform into something that can kill him? Love schmuff. You really think that he would have stayed with her after finding that shit out? Really? After finding out that she turns into an octopus? That she killed people? Look at that guy. That is a flesh and blood human being whose life I ended. You think anyone's going to want to love me and take me on little dates in Italy and pay for all my fucking lambrusco after knowing that I did that? No, that's fucking bananas. Mate, people end relationships over minor weight gain. Are you hearing where I'm coming from now? Do you really, truly think that he would have stayed with her? All things considered. She's not even smart at killing people either. The one respectable thing about my position is that at least I've thought of how I can dispose of this body and get away with the crime. 2,000 years of experience, and she couldn't even figure out how to fucking erase evidence. Like, she's been killing people for 2,000 years, and she didn't even check to see if there were anyone around when she fucked up that guy in the alleyway. She just threw his body off a railing. That's not how you get rid of a body. Have I made my point clear enough?
So you killed a guy just for a movie review? Just to prove a point? You just wanted me to talk more so when the cops came here I'd take the fall for you.
I am you, remember? We both have syphilis. We both killed a guy, and we both have no money in our bank account to dispose of this body efficiently because you overdrew it and gave it to a homeless guy. So, we're going to hide this body in the attic of this abandoned building, and we're going to do it together because the cops are coming. Do you understand? And if you're thinking of not standing by the moral of your great fucking movie, if you suddenly decided that you don't think it's conceivable that someone would stand by someone no matter who they are or what they've done, or who they've killed in this case, then I urge you to remember that it's Tuesday. And do you remember what Tuesday is?
The day I have our ID.
Yep. And if I was better at editing and could do that same person appearing twice in the same shot thing, then I'd probably come over and boop you on your nose for being a silly bugger. Now let's get to work, lover boy. I'm gonna take the legs.
Wait. You know the movie was a metaphor about mental illness, right?
Oh. Really?
Not about someone justifying being with a murderer because they love them.
Oh, I guess that makes sense, actually. Oops.
You bloody goof. I was just going to get into that part of the review. The relationship is a metaphor for two people dealing with the mental illness of one of them, and it is not meant to be taken literally. You set this all up and killed a guy because you misunderstood a film? A human life was taken for nothing? For no reason? He probably had superannuation and a crush on someone at the office he worked at.
Yeah, and he said things like, I can't function in the morning without a big cup of coffee.
Yeah, and you just knocked him off for a movie review with subpar sound and lighting.
Yeah, but he's the guy that left us that mean comment that one time.
Oh, well, in that case, may his spirit never rest. Oh, what a day. After this, I think I'm going to start my own segment on the channel, if that's alright with you.
That's understandable.
Maybe I'll end up avoiding getting killed in one of these in the future. I think my new segment's going to be recommendations of films, and not just scathing reviews that might land me in an abandoned building with a spliced version of myself that's committed murder. The guy's really dead, isn't he?
He's truly dead.
I can't believe that. Wow. But seriously, that's going to be a new segment on the channel. I'm actually going to do regular recommendations of films. So look forward to that when I get out of prison. Cheers for making it through the weirdest review I've ever done. The cops are just on their way up the stairs. Yep, there they are. Well, thanks for watching. Goodbye.